Hello my crafty friends, it's Crystal with Happy to Plan. I am going to be doing my Plan With Me video for the week of the 24th through the 29th of February, or actually technically it's the 1st of March. And for this Plan With Me, I'm going to be using this loaded envelope that my friend Kim with Creative Practicalities gave me, and I'm going to be deconstructing this and using the pieces in this to do my planner layout. So there was a couple of things that were in here that I wanted to pull as well. I have these flowers that I bought, I think last year or the year before this, at the scrapbook convention or expo. So I love that the colors all match. So I'm gonna try to see if I can incorporate the flowers somehow. Not 100% sure how that's gonna work. And then she made a couple of these little envelopes for me. So I'm not sure again how I'm going to use these, but I had an idea and a thought of what I was going to do. So I don't know. We will see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside, and then there's a bunch of die cuts in here. So it's been a while since I've looked at these, so I'm just going to go ahead and look these over. There's some florals in here. Yeah, I'm just not sure what's in here. So I'm going to pull all these out. A little frame. This has a couple of different pieces attached to it. There's a couple like frames in here. Just a couple decorative pieces. Some labels. Yeah, so I am going to, and then she made me, or there's some doilies as well. Not sure if this was like made with a punch or something, but cute little doilies that came in it. So I wanted to use that. And then I've had this that I've had in my stash forever, and I've never found the perfect way to use it. And I just feel like the color combinations of this really works really well. And I do kind of like, I'm kind of doing like a Valentine's Day thing for the month of February. So I love these little hearts with the stitches, and then these different little components, and this bird I think would look really good with the floral. So I am just going to go ahead and put this on fast forward and do a voiceover, just because I do want to watch some shows while I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and see what I create.
All right, so the first thing that I ended up doing was kind of deconstructing the envelope. I knew I wanted to use the top pocket piece for, well, actually I wanted to use the back of the pocket piece for my journaling card. It just says celebrate on there, and I thought that I would use that little piece with the flower as kind of the journaling card. So I'm just taking that piece off and going to put that aside. And then I just went ahead and kind of deconstructed the envelope to use some of the pieces. So you can see here I'm kind of struggling with it, but I was able to get it undone. And then I'm going to cut the little flap things off, and those little corner pieces, and I'm going to use those in the corners of each of the different sides. So I put one in the top corner and then one in the bottom corner. And one of them was a little bit bigger than the other way, just the way that the envelope was made. One side is a little bit, um, width-wise is a little bit bigger than the other side. So I put the bigger one on the corner in the bottom, and then the smaller one I put at the top. And I had this ribbon that I just really wanted to use. I want to use more ribbon in my planner this year. I feel like last year when I used the ribbon in different spaces, I really liked it. And kind of like, bringing in that junk journaling feel. I like the way that my junk journals look when there's like ribbon and stuff hanging out of it. So I had this brown ribbon that I thought would work perfect with this. And then that little red um, floral ribbon to kind of cover up the holes, because that ribbon was the kind of like, the ones that you kind of weave the ribbon through. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have those holes covered up. So I also wanted to use these flowers. So I went ahead, I've just taken a bone folder and kind of folding over the petals just to kind of give them a little bit more life so they're not as flat. And I'm just taking a couple of the pieces and gonna do a layering effect with each of them. So I make one blue one with the three layers, so the big, small, medium, and small. And then I make a red one that way too. And then I make a green one, but I only do the two layers. I only do the medium and the small one. And in the sticker sheet that I showed you at the beginning with the felt sticker sheet, it had these really cute little circle like stickers with little sequins on them. So I thought those were perfect for the inside of the flowers. So I'm just going to glue those flowers together and then put that little piece as the middle piece. As you can see, now I'm going to make the green one. I do the same thing. I'm just taking a bone folder and I'm just folding up each of the flowers so that it kind of gives it a little bit more life to the flower. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the red one the same way. And yeah, it takes up a lot of space there at the bottom, but I don't typically have a lot going on Mondays. So, I go to work and then I come home and I just don't really have a whole lot going on typically on Mondays. So I'm okay with it covering up quite a bit of the Monday space. And so I do have to say that this planner layout didn't exactly turn out the way that I had it in my head. I ultimately do end up liking the way that it looks, but it definitely didn't end up the way that I was envisioning it in my head. And sometimes when that happens, I do kind of disappointed. But what I basically have to do in that case is I just kind of step away from it and then I look at it again. So when I was editing this footage, when I was going through and editing it, at the end I was like, oh, that's really cute. I really like that. So I just kind of tell myself to, step away from it and then look at it again. And typically I end up really liking it. All right, so what I wanted to do, and this is what I had originally thought of, I wanted to do a big flag effect on the side. And I didn't have a lot of paper to work with because all of these pieces were kind of glued together, so I didn't have a whole lot of paper to work with. I definitely wanted to make sure that I used that floral paper, so just to kind of bring in all the floral pieces and the elements. So what I'm doing is I'm taking little strips of the paper um, from the envelope and I'm just cutting them into strips and then I'm just adding them here on the side. And then I'm going to take this other piece and I'm going to trim that down and then make it just like a big banner flag and put that on the side. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing with the on the bottom corner, which you'll see here in a second. So I take some more of this. Again, it was really hard to take it off of the brown paper. So I was going really gentle and really soft with it, but then I was able to pull it off enough to get a good little piece out of it to be able to use um, for the flag. And I'm just using a glue stick here because, again, the paper is pretty fragile because I've kind of tore it off that brown piece. So it was pretty fragile. So I just wanted to use some really, glue that would pick up pretty fast, but then also not hurt the paper. Okay, so that is basically the paper I use. I do put a little bit more additional paper during sticker time just because when I was doing sticker time, I felt like I didn't have enough like red and that color teal stickers. I just didn't have quite enough of those colors. I really wanted to bring in a lot of red with the stickers, and I don't, for some reason, I don't have a lot of like label stickers that are red. So I did bring in a couple of more pieces from that one piece to add uh, to the planner layout, but I do that during sticker time. All right, so you can see there, I'm just putting in the little roses, and I just glued each of the little holes, and I just glued the roses into those holes just to cover up the holes. And then I'm going to glue this glued down. Now this little piece right here, it did take a while for it to stay down, just because I think there were so many layers with the brown ribbon and then the red floral ribbon. So I just had to hold it down a little bit and then make sure that it all stayed down. And I'm gluing on the floral here. Yeah, okay, and then I'm going to do basically the same thing to the top. I do make another floral as well. I'm going to go ahead and make another red floral flower with the flower petals that I got. I just make a small one for this side. So again, just kind of twisting up those petals and then glued that on there. And then I also glued one of the stickers, the little dot stickers on there. And then I'm going to get that side glued down up there in the corner. And again, kind of using up quite a bit of space on Sunday, but I'm okay with that. And then in the die cut set, it had a couple of like leaf die cuts. So I decided to add that to both of these pieces just to give it a little bit more element, a little different element to it. And then I'm going to glue that one at the top, and then I glue that at the bottom there, kind of tuck it in, and then that is good. And then I'm just going to take some these little red dots here and line the flag a little bit just to, and then it's going to be sticker time. All right, so I'm just going to work on my journal card now, and I have the back, that pocket is, that's the back of the pocket like I said at the beginning, and then that is the back of the loaded envelope. So I'm just deciding on whether or not I want that to be in the front or that the other side to be in the front. I do decide to go ahead and put the flower in the front, so I'm just lining it up, and obviously I have to kind of um, trim it up a little bit, and so I take that side off to hole punch that side there. I was a little worried that the planner punch wasn't going to go through because that brown paper was pretty thick, but it worked out fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and punch that, and then I do need to trim it up a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and line that up and get that trimmed. And then in the loaded envelope there was this yellow red piece of like ribbon. So I decided that I just wanted, instead of cutting that part off on the side, I was going to add that ribbon to the side. So I'm just going to put some glue here and then kind of have that dangling down a little bit and then glue that on there and then trim that and then glue that piece to the front. And then I did need to do something with the back just to, I had that sticker, that brown bird sticker. I haven't used that yet, and I really wanted to use it um, in this layout. And so I decided that I was going to go ahead and put it on the back of the sticker, on the journaling card. So I took the kind of that swirly blue stick looking thing, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on there and then just put that brown birdie sticker on there. I've had these stickers in my stash for probably, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years now. So I'm like, I just wanted to use that sticker. All right, so there is the planner layout. I know there's not a lot of room on there, so I hope I have enough room to kind of put some stuff down, but I think I will. I'm not too busy this week, and I think it looks really pretty. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this plan with me, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.